Anderson Cooper 360, weeknights at 8 and 10 on CNN.
What exactly happened? I mean, when did you first see the shooter? Where were you going?
I was driving to my nephew's play at school, at New Road School in Los Angeles, and due to the blockade and Obama being in town, I was winding through city streets trying to make my way there. And he appeared just behind a car that was in front of me. He just appeared in the middle of the road pointing a machine gun at me.
And what did he look like?
He was dressed all in tactical gear from head to toe, sort of a medium-sized person, brown hair, pointing the gun, saying, "Pull over, pull over."
And so then what happened?
I believe I asked him, "Who are you?" thinking he was part of the Obama's team, and I think I said it a few times, "Who are you?" and he just kept yelling at me, "Pull over." So I pulled over, and I believe there was gunfire at that time to another vehicle.
So he was shooting at another vehicle?
Shooting at another vehicle and then shooting at my vehicle. My windows exploded, and he screamed at me to get out of the car and to pick up his bag that was on the ground and to put it into my vehicle.
And did you do that?
Reluctantly, and he kept yelling at me to hurry, hurry. It was quite heavy, and he made me put it in the back seat where I had a child seat, and put it on the top of the child seat, and then instructed me to get in, and I suggested he take my car and go, and he didn't like that idea and said that I was going to drive him.
Did he have a destination in mind, to your knowledge, or was he just kind of giving you directions randomly?
At this point, he was just giving me directions. Somewhere along the ride, he said, "This is what's going to happen. You're going to drive me to Santa Monica College." And I thought perhaps that was where Obama was. I didn't know, but he said, "You're going to drive me there. You're going to pull over and get out and put my bag on the ground, and I'll let you go." And I just kept saying, "Don't hurt me. I have children. Don't hurt me." Thank God I didn't have a child in the back seat. He'd shot right into where the child would have been sitting.
Unbelievable.
And I kept saying, "Don't hurt me. I have kids." And he said, "How old are the kids?" And "Calm down. You'll be all right. Don't do anything stupid."
Did he seem calm, or, I mean, what was his demeanor?
He seemed very calm after he partially stepped out of the vehicle to shoot at the bus, and the other vehicles, when he stepped back in, he was very winded, but very calm. I was hysterically shaking, and he kept saying, "Calm down, you'll be all right," and then yelling at me to go through the... I was still waiting for the light to turn, and he just started screaming, "Go, go, go."
Did he say anything about why he wanted to go to the college?
No, he did not. He reloaded his gun after the bus. He reloaded the machine gun. But I thought there was a bomb in the back, and I didn't think it was wise to engage him too much. I didn't know if I would say something that would anger him. So I just tried to be calm and do what he asked me to do.
And once you drove off, after you dropped him off and got the bag out, did you pull over and wait for the police, or what happened then?
I tried to escape from him, but the direction I was facing was right into a cement wall, and I would have had to turn around and go back past him. So I entered the campus on sidewalks that were pedestrian sidewalks and drove through the campus wildly, screaming at people, "Go the other way, there's a gunman, go the other way." And then I got to where I couldn't drive anymore, and I jumped out and I ran into a building, but I panicked that he had a bomb, and so I decided I should get far away from there. So I ran out of the building, out onto Pico, and ran a few blocks, and the whole time calling 911, but I couldn't get through to the police because the lines, I think, were full. Finally made a connection and explained to them what had happened, and they told me to stay where I was.